I want to talk about the drought in California. We are having a really serious problem, and California is in trouble. Not all of California. Way up north, it's a lot different than it is in the central area of California and Southern California. But we have a number of problems. A, there's way too many people consuming what water we have, and B, I know a lot of people don't like to use the word climate change, but things are definitely changing, and it's getting hotter and drier, and I'm seeing it in the trees. But I want to talk about water conservation. A huge problem that I see that you can do something about if you have a property in our area is to talk to your gardeners, and instead of having them blow away all the leaves in your yard, have them blow the organic matter back under the plants and let it build up. Build up a layer. It should be a couple of inches thick of organic matter. Add to it, bring in wood chips, bring in compost, but pile it up on top of the soil. That does so much to reduce evaporation and keep the water in the soil longer so that your plants will do well. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have a nice little landscape on my property, and I irrigate, but I don't have to over irrigate because everything is natural. Everything is, it has a natural buildup. I don't blow everything away. I leave all the natural mulch. There's also ground covers, and it hangs in there for a long period of time. And granted, I'm in a little bit of a different environment. We're in a rain shadow in the Santa Cruz Mountains, so we get a lot more natural moisture. But I want to talk about the yards that I work in that are mismanaged because of the way the gardeners keep things tidy. The word tidy is so important for people. They want all the leaf matter blown away. They want everything cleaned up. So often I'll get into a complex or a yard, and the ground is like concrete. It's there's a huge difference. The word dirt and the word soil are because of the top mulch, and the lack of the mulch converts the soil, which may have been good to begin with, into rock hard dirt. So people water it, it evaporates. Water it, it evaporates. Their water bills are going through the roof. So we have to learn to change the type of landscapes that we're putting in. A huge factor in this whole process is not blowing away all the organic matter. When the leaves fall in your yard, you can either rake them up and compost them, or just blow them underneath the plants and let them build up. If you hire a gardener and the gardener sweeps everything up and puts it on the street or puts it in the dumpsters and hauls it away, you're not benefiting your yard. Everything that comes from your yard, with exceptions, of course. If you have a tree fall down, that's way too much. But all the natural decomposition of the leaf matter and all the grasses and all the stuff that your yard produces should go back into producing quality soil. I cannot emphasize that enough. So many of my clients will say, "What's wrong with my citrus tree? It's yellow." And I'll go over, I could take a hammer to the soil and say, "Because you're trying to grow it in concrete. It's dirt, it's not soil. Let's bring in some chips, let's bring in some compost, let's put it on top. Let's let it naturally convert into an environment that is conducive for growth." So many people say, "Do I need to fertilize?" I say, don't start there. Start with improving the soil. Make things better. I've got this beautiful landscape on my property, and almost everything that I've put into this yard is stuff that I've either dug up or picked or made starts from. I honestly don't spend much money on plants, if at all. Once in a while I'll want something different, but because I'm working in people's yards all the time, I have the benefit of taking cuttings or taking starts or digging up superfluous plants. There's way too many things so I'll just dig stuff up and take it home. So my yard is benefiting from the excesses of all my clients' yards. And of course I seed things and bring in unusual things. I've got a lot of rhododendrons on my property, and these all came from a nursery that had a lot of root-bound plants. And a friend of mine that worked at that nursery said, "Hey, we're throwing away all these plants, you want them?" So I said, sure. That was 25 years ago, and they're still growing. But I'm in an environment where the rhododendrons will do well. They'll do okay. The deer don't eat them. So I choose the types of plants that fit my environment, and I can get away with it. You have to do the same in your yard. So I'd like to show a lot of photos of dry landscape ideas that I have collected over the last few weeks. When I drive around and I see a yard that has a different style of landscaping, I stop and I take a picture. And if you like some of these ideas and you're in the market to change your landscape or need to do a new landscape, stop the video and take a screenshot of it, and show that to your landscaper. Say, this is the kind of idea that I like. And there's so much variation. A dry landscape can be a desert type of a landscape. It could be a dry creek bed with a lot of rocks. It could be, water conservative plants. And there's a lot of plants that you can put in that are very attractive, that don't need a lot of water. Succulents, for instance. I've seen some yards that were just loaded with succulents and they hardly ever need to be watered. Choose wisely and think about what you like, and you can have a yard that is lower maintenance, will save you money on your water bill. The soil will start improving. You won't need to water as much because you're doing the right thing. And you'll know you're doing right for this drought situation that we're in. People have got to stop being so greedy. Water is all of our resource, and we all have to share it. So sadly, if you're in a huge estate property and you have a water bill of $2,000 a month, and I see it, you're being a little bit greedy and just taking advantage of the situation. And your water consumption might be 100 times what should be allocated for you. That's a tough thing to say, because a lot of people say, I have the money, I'm going to do it. Well, it's not about money. It's about understanding our resources. So anyway, I'm going to show a few of these stills. I hope you enjoy this. And once again, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit the like button, that helps me out. Send me comments, ask me questions. I do what I can, but we are in a bad situation, and you know it. Thanks for watching.